Has Victor found a new Adam? Why Matt could be taking over as his right-hand man on Y and R. An original fan fiction. The morning sun barely pierced the thick clouds hanging over Genoa City as Victor Newman stood in his office at Newman Enterprises. His hands rested behind his back while he stared through the floor-to-ceiling windows. For once, the legendary businessman wasn't thinking about stock prices or hostile takeovers. He was thinking about family. Adam had disappeared again. Not physically. Adam still lived in Genoa City, but emotionally he had drifted further away than ever. Their latest argument had ended with Adam walking out, declaring he was tired of spending his life trying to earn Victor's approval. Victor rarely admitted when words hurt him, but those did. The office door opened without a knock. Michael Baldwin entered carrying a folder. "You wanted the latest intelligence on Kane." Victor nodded. Michael placed the file on the desk. "I've also included reports on Chancellor Industries." Victor barely glanced at it. Instead, he asked a question that surprised Michael. "What do you know about Matt?" Michael raised an eyebrow. "Matt? Phyllis's friend?" Victor nodded slowly. "The same." Michael sat down. "Former corporate strategist. Quiet, smart, doesn't chase headlines, doesn't talk much, but everyone who has worked with him says he always sees 3 moves ahead." Victor remained silent. Michael continued. "Why?" Victor finally turned. "Because he reminds me of someone." Michael already knew the answer. "Adam." Victor didn't deny it. Across town. Matt sat alone inside Crimson Lights. His laptop displayed dozens of financial projections. Most people thought he spent his time helping Phyllis. Very few realized he'd quietly been consulting for several international companies. His phone buzzed. "Unknown number." He answered. "This is Matt." A familiar voice responded. "Victor Newman." Matt nearly laughed. "I wasn't expecting your call. I'd like to discuss business." "When?" "Now." 30 minutes later, Matt walked into Newman Enterprises. The receptionist escorted him directly upstairs. Victor dismissed everyone from his office before Matt entered. Once the door closed, silence filled the room. Victor studied him carefully. Matt remained calm. Finally, Victor spoke. "You know why you're here?" "I have a few guesses." Victor smiled slightly. "Good answer." Matt didn't respond. Victor appreciated restraint. "So tell me," Victor said, "if I asked you how to destroy Kane's latest operation, what would you do?" Matt answered immediately. "I wouldn't destroy it." Victor frowned. "No? I'd let it succeed." Victor leaned forward. "Explain." Matt walked toward the city skyline. "If Kane believes he's winning, he'll become careless." Victor watched closely. "You don't attack your enemy at his strongest point." Matt continued. "You wait until they expose everything themselves." Victor smiled. "Interesting." Matt turned. "Everyone expects you to strike." Victor nodded. "I wouldn't." "What would you do?" "I'd become indispensable." Victor's smile widened. For the first time in months, someone had surprised him. Later that afternoon, Nick Newman entered Victor's office. He stopped the moment he saw Matt leaving. "What was he doing here?" Victor answered casually. "We had a conversation." Nick frowned. "About what?" Victor didn't answer immediately. Instead, he poured himself coffee. "I may have found someone useful." Nick folded his arms. "You trust him?" Victor looked directly at his son. "I trust ability." Nick shook his head. "That's exactly what you said about Adam." The room fell silent. Meanwhile, Phyllis noticed Matt returning to society. "You were gone longer than expected." Matt smiled. "I had a meeting." "With who?" He hesitated. "Victor." Phyllis nearly dropped her glass. "Victor Newman?" Matt nodded. "What did he want?" "He offered me a job." Phyllis stared. "And?" I didn't answer. She sighed with relief. Then Matt added, "Yet." That evening, Victoria arrived at Newman Ranch. She found Victor reviewing security reports. Nick was already there. "So it's true," Victoria said. Victor looked up. "What?" "You met with Matt." Victor nodded. Victoria exchanged a glance with Nick. "What are you planning?" Victor stood. "I'm planning for the future." Nick crossed his arms. "By replacing Adam?" Victor's expression hardened. "No one replaces family." "But?" Victor walked toward the fireplace. "There comes a point when loyalty matters more than blood." Victoria spoke softly. "Adam won't like hearing that." Victor answered without emotion. "Perhaps Adam should remember who gave him every opportunity. Elsewhere." Adam watched the lights of Newman Tower from his penthouse. Chelsea approached quietly. "You've been staring at that building for an hour." Adam smiled bitterly. "My father is making another move." Chelsea looked confused. "You know?" "He always does." Adam picked up his phone. One message from an anonymous source. "Victor met with Matt today." Adam read it twice, then a third time. His jaw tightened. "So that's the game." Chelsea frowned. "What game?" Adam slipped the phone into his pocket. "My father is looking for another son." Across Genoa City, Matt stood outside his apartment. A black SUV stopped beside him. The window lowered. Victor sat inside. "I forgot to ask you something." Matt stepped closer. "What?" Victor looked him directly in the eye. "If I asked you to stand beside me against every enemy I've ever made..." He paused. "Would you?" Matt didn't answer immediately. Instead, he smiled. "That depends." Victor waited. Matt finished. "Would you stand beside me when everyone turns against you?" Victor's eyes narrowed. Few people had ever challenged him so calmly. Even fewer had earned his respect. Victor finally smiled. "I believe this partnership could become very interesting." The SUV drove away. Matt remained standing in the darkness, unknown to both men. Someone had photographed the entire meeting, and the mysterious photographer immediately sent the images to Adam Newman. Adam stared at the screen. His expression became ice cold. "So that's how it is." He slowly closed his phone. "If Victor wants a new Adam," he whispered, "he's about to remember why there could only ever be one.